We've finished up trimming these out. We've got both of our stencils ready to go. I'm going to set this X-Acto knife off to the side. We've made imprints to make sure that it's going to look okay. We don't need that anymore. We are now using Createx Pearlized Gold, and we're running that. I'm going to run it at 12. So we're just going to line this up to the edge of the bait. Get that little piece out of there. There we go. Because remember, on your pattern picture, it does run right up to the edge. And voila! There it is. There's the pattern. And it looks okay. We're going to leave that off to the side. Now, one thing that you want to do when you're working with paint and you're doing detailing, if you have something that you can take off that excess paint with, really good idea. Because what you'll find is after you do a couple of these, especially if you're doing a run, the paint will tend to build up along the edges of that. And it's going to make it a little difficult because you'll get some bleed through on it. Lift that up, and Rascal's going to bark. There are no guarantees with Rascal, except that he loves unconditionally, just like every other dog I've ever known. So, can't hate him. We're going to continue on with this. If he barks, he barks. We want to finish this side. There we go. Just kind of pull that paint off every single time. Just get that excess off. You'll definitely be doing yourself a great service in the long run. We're just going to add a little bit more gold to this. And then on these bigger ones, I'll put myself a little handle on here just to help guide me through the process and make sure that spray doesn't come off of there. That we don't want on there. Now again, remember, we're hanging this right underneath the eye hook. Lay it down as flat as you can. Spray it evenly. Pull it up, and there you go. I think it's time for new paper towels. What do y'all say? These are pretty trashed. Yep, let's get a new one. You know, paper towels come in really handy at your workstation. Yes, they do. Quick heat set. Gotta have it. The next thing we're going to be doing is finishing up the gold detailing. I'm not going to show you all 12. I am going to show you one. I'm going to show you the bigger bait simply because I think it's going to be easier for you guys to understand that I want to try and get it as close to that as possible. So we have 4 on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have 3 on the next one. Dip this back. I still have some gold paint in my chamber. You can load this paintbrush up. I prefer a paintbrush for this. Got 2. Then we've got 1 here, 1 here. But you'll notice that along these, along here, there is a third one at the bottom. There you go. I'll show you one more. You want to try and get them as close as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's kind of like a backwards L on there. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 1. But remember, on the bottom here, 1, 2, 3. 3. There we go. Okay. There you have it. I'm going to do the rest of these, and then we'll show you how we're going to do this shad dot. Oh, that's good coffee. Well, here we go, folks. We have done the detailing, and we have been specific with our detailing because we want to look as close to the original product as we possibly can. And you can do it. It just takes a little bit of time. So the last thing that we're going to do in our gold, we have to do 5 stripes. But before we do that, I am going to put that in, and I'm going to show you the bait when it's completely done. We don't need gold in the chamber. I've got a lot of cleaning fluid in there. It's soaking. I'm finished with this pattern for the day. Now we want to do this shad dot. So what I've done, I've taken a little bit of black, it's opaque, and I've put it into a mixing cup. And we're going to take a Q-tip. Well, let me try that again. We're going to take a Q-tip, and we're going to dot these on. It's quick, it's effective, it looks round, it looks like a shad dot, and as long as you don't jam the Q-tip onto the bait, you should be fine. So all we're going to do is we're going to pick each one up, and put this back where I found it. And remember, if you're looking at this, the shad dot is over top of this first slash, this first segment marking. So if you do that on every single bait, knowing that your first slash is over the eye hook, you're going to have even shad dots. That's why we did the way we did it. So we're going to just dip this. Now the Q-tip is super absorbent, and again, you don't need to jam this on here, but one side and the other side in the same spot. There's your shad dot. Super easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, as some would say. I'm going to show you the same thing on the small guy. Ta-da! And ta-da! We're just going to do that for every single one. Doesn't take much time. Light, light. Don't jam this because this is loaded with black paint. And folks, it's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Both sides of the bait. And just set it off to the side when you're done. Let it air dry as well as you can. And the opaque is recommended for this. I recommend it because it's going to have a tendency to run less. If you use transparent or thinned or reduced paint, and you set this off to the side, now you can even go so far as to lay these down. But then what I've found is that gravity takes hold of the side of the underside, and then you have like a little air bubble, air pocket If you just kind of let this naturally hang and air dry, you should be okay. Occasionally you can come back and reload your paint. But again, this Q-tip is loaded. And right just like that. And the same on the other side in the same spot, and you're going to have that even shad dot every single time. There you go. And that, folks, is how you do a run. And again, the only thing left to do really is the gold stripes, and I'm going to paint those with a paintbrush. Just add those 5 little hash marks on the bottom of these. But I did want to show you what this looks like generally. There you go, kids. Just double check. Yep, got both sides there. Got both sides here. And if you notice on the pattern that we printed out, which is the original, it's not the Booyah pattern, it's the original Excalibur in Rayburn red, that shad dot is painted right over top of this first craw segment. And I'm calling it a craw segment. It's just basically, it's just the detailing that was in this bait. Now, because the original eyes are red with that great big pupil in the middle, we've already painted these eyes red. We left them in because we didn't want to destroy the eye sockets around this bait. It's very simple. We're just continuing on and finishing up. And now you have 12, or however many you do in your run, baits that look almost identical. Almost as if we'd done them on a press in a machine. So ladies and gentlemen, bait down, bait down. So ladies and gentlemen, I give you the Excalibur Match the Hatch. And just to be different, we're going to do one. Have fun with this one. Focus the pupils in the front like it's getting chased by something. There you go, folks. 12 lovely little Excaliburs. Well, folks, that is it. I gave you 12 original Excalibur pattern in the Rayburn red, not the Booyah pattern. That's got a little bit more orange in it. But we got through it right down to making the stencils and showing you how we did the pupils and the shad dots and all of that. It's a fairly simple pattern. It is a fade pattern, so light to dark, black on top. We left the eyes spray painted red since the original bait. This is not the Booyah, this is the original Excalibur pattern. But they have red eyes. So basically all I did was leave that alone and put the black dot for the pupil into it. So everything you guys need to get you through this pattern, from the helping hands to the mixing cups right down to the artist detailing brush, all the gear that I use is listed in the description below. And I really want to give a special shout out to you guys. Enerflone for the Fin Super. It is a multi-purpose, multi-spray lubricant. It's synthetic. It's suitable for a variety of applications for indoors and outdoors. Make sure that you guys have this in a safe area. I've only been testing it for a few weeks, so I can't give you any long-term effects on things like ball bearings if you guys are using the high-end Boca bearings. I'm using it on my JDM stuff, which is high-end. It's Shimano. It's the Revo Auroras that are coming from Japan. And the cool thing about this stuff, once again, is that there's no greasy residue like you get on that real butter and some things that, you know, there's a real magic out there that you just spray on there. This stuff is fantastic. They've sponsored this video. They're giving me some products to try out. I do want to tell you that because this is how I make my way. YouTube, teaching people how to paint, and painting for the tournament anglers and guides of the world. is what I do. So you guys have a great day. We'll see you on the water. Happy casting. One, two, three, 4, 5.